Oh my gosh. 64 and counting lawsuits against Diddy. 64 lawsuits? Wow. He physically assaulted Cassie Ventura. Okay. Wow. Okay. I know about that, but okay, now they're separating them. Those are two. And then the criminal enterprise is made up of his inner circle. Wow. He depended on silence and shame to keep his crimes hidden. He thought his fame, wealth, and power put him above the law. Oh, his lawyers argue that, wow, a small army of personal staff who made it their mission to meet the defendant's every desire, promote his power, and protect his reputation at all cost. They want to streamline charges against Diddy to amend parts of their da 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 da. I just wonder if he's going to get life. Some lawyer was saying he's going to get life. I highly doubt it. What's my favorite thing about being a narcissist? Um, I don't have a favorite thing. Gosh, man. Wow. All right. So I guess once I figured out that I went through once I figured out I was a narcissist, I went through therapy and everything. And once I figured all that out and discovered that it was true and that I had the disorder, I understood why I couldn't feel things like if a relationship ended or something like that, I would not be like broken down in tears, crying every day. I would just want to move on and it all made sense. So you don't have like human emotions, I guess, like most people where you don't feel as heartbroken as some people do when they go through breakups, for example. So I'll tell you a little story. Like one of my exes, when she broke up with me, I didn't cry once. I didn't cry one single time. And I was with her for a long time, and I don't remember crying at all. I don't know what I did. I don't think I cried one time. I was a little depressed though for a little while, and then it just went away. But it wasn't even like the depression wasn't even that bad. Um, if I had to pick a favorite thing, maybe that's one of them, I guess, because it's hard to hurt me really, I guess. Although, although I will say now that I went through therapy and discovered Christ and started healing myself and learning more about it, I feel way more. But then again, I haven't really been in a serious relationship either to know what's going to happen. The last relationship I had, I did. I was pretty upset when we parted. I did cry a couple times. I really liked her a lot. I mean, I was in love with her, but I felt way more uh, with my last breakup. I felt way more emotions, more depression. I cried several times when it ended. I didn't really want it to end, and yeah. So I guess my favorite thing is not having a lot of emotions. I guess from not knowing what I was before, because when before I discovered what I was a few years ago, I was hardly ever like broken up over a girlfriend or anything. Nothing like got to me like that. But yeah, the last one was pretty hard though. The last one, you really made me think about that. I had to think about it. Right now, I don't have a favorite thing right now about being a narcissist. Um, hmm, nothing right now because I wish I felt more emotions and I wish I wasn't a narcissist. I have access to more emotions, but I don't think I have full access like most people. Oh, how do we really feel about our children? Well, me personally, I love my children. I'm a little bit afraid of them sometimes because I'm afraid I'm not going to treat them good. Basically, sometimes that freaks me out. But I feel like I do love them. I feel like I would die for them. I feel that way in my heart. I know, like, for example, like even when my son would get sick, like have a fever or something or whatever it was, and I would actually feel that like gigantic relief. Katie, how did you read her mind? Oh my gosh. Katie's a mind reader, I think. Wow. Well, like when my son would get sick, like with anything, what would happen is I would literally feel it, like it would weigh me down, like I was being suffocated until they got better. Like when he was in pain, I was in pain. It would hurt me. I would be hurt really bad, like mentally destroyed. I couldn't sleep, I couldn't think, I couldn't work. I mean, I would try to my best to function if I had to work or whatever, but it was incredibly hard. And so I don't know what that means. I know that it affects me. I know that it affected me a lot when my son would get sick. It was very, very stressful and it would affect everything in my life when he was sick. So I would say I love my children. They do scare me in some ways because even now, in a way, I'm afraid. Like I'll say or do something wrong, um, and I won't know what to do about it, or like I'll make a mistake. Like I'm afraid of making mistakes more than anything else now. I don't know if that means I have empathy. I don't know what that means, but I know it's how I felt. Like when my son was younger, like 5, 6, or whatever, and he would get sick. That's how I felt because he went through a lot of health issues when he was younger, and he had night terrors. He couldn't sleep. He had asthma, allergies, one thing after another. And until or unless I knew he was sleeping or better, even if he wasn't 100% healthy, I just wanted him to feel better and get better. I couldn't rest or do anything or function or do anything until I knew he was feeling better. And that's me, though. I know a lot of narcissists use children as pawns. I don't know. I don't know what kind of narcissist I am. I don't know if I've ever really done that. I don't know. They use them like as pawns to get their way with certain things. I don't know. I don't think I've ever I don't remember ever really doing that too much, but I know it's very common. I think a lot of narcissists have feelings of love for their children. I think they do, but they don't have a way of expressing it. They're just always like so pissed off and angry about one thing or another. And especially if the relationship ends, oftentimes the only way they can get a reaction is through the children. So they have to tell the children something evil or whatever it is because they need to get that reaction. They need to get back a little bit of fuel and supply from the ex, especially when it's over. So yeah, they'll use the children to hurt the partner, especially when it's over. I'd have to really think on that. I don't remember doing things like that. I don't know. I don't think so. Um, mm. I think they do for the most part. I think it depends on how the narcissist, how, or what level of narcissism are we talking about? The malignant style? Probably not. They probably don't love their children. Covert and bombastic narcissist, grandiose. They probably do love their children, but they don't know how to show it or express it because they don't really understand it. That's what I think. But I think they get so desperate to try to get fuel back and supply that they end up hurting the children anyway. So, Katie, yes, I love my children, both of them, my son and my daughter. I probably love my son a little bit more. No, I'm joking. No, I do love them. They stress me out though. But yeah, I love them. Yeah, I know I do. I feel I feel what they feel when they're in pain. I want to cry and I feel that. So I don't know what that means. I know that's how I feel. I know that the last couple years since I got closer to Jesus and Christ and reconnected with my faith, I've had more feelings and more days where I wasn't as numb and I thought about things I could do to help my son or my daughter or whatever, things like that. And like I always say, like the closer you are to Christ, I think your life gets better and anything and everything in your life can heal once you come closer to Christ and believe in Jesus. That's what I believe. uh, how do narcs feel when their ex heals and becomes hot and happy again? Oh God, they get so mad. They get so angry. It makes them so enraged. And when they see that and when they know that, that's gonna trigger some rage. I did a video about it's with a dog. It's kind of a goofy video. It's how to get a narcissist to change. And how do you accomplish that? Well, you tell them their shirt looks discolored, you tell them their pants look too tight, and they'll end up changing. It's not actual change. It was kind of a joke, obviously, but um, they will literally change their whole personality around to try to get you back if they have to do it. If they see you're happy and if they see you glowed up, I think they call it glowing up. If they see that, they're gonna literally change their whole personality around to try to get you back. Like whatever habits or whatever hobbies you have, they're gonna want to join that. If you were going to church, they're gonna want to go to church again. They're gonna try to do anything and everything to get back with you and try to ruin it. Not to get you back because they love you. They're gonna try to ruin it. They're gonna try to make you miserable so you don't glow up. They're gonna try to ruin your happiness, and they'll even actually go to therapy and lie to you and tell you they're in therapy. Everything's changed. They're such a different person. They really loved you deep down. They just didn't have a way to show it. Whatever. And once they get you back, they're gonna torture you. They're gonna try to hold in all that rage for however long it takes to get you back when you're hot and happy again, and then they're gonna try to destroy you. because they're gonna come off like the absolute perfect person, like, they're gonna go to church or whatever, anything to get you back to ruin it, anything, and that's another thing, like, when you have kids, if you have kids with them, they'll use the kids. Like, they'll tell the kids things like, "You know, your mom's been putting on weight." Even if you haven't, they'll tell the kids that, and obviously, then all the kids are gonna mention it to the mom. Make sure you tell your mom I said that she gained some weight. They're gonna try to ruin it, you know? So, I think it's so important to remember indifference. Indifference is the key word to destroy them. Uh, oh, hi, Alicia. How are you? You don't have to call me Hex. You can call me Jack. They love to brag, don't they? Yeah. Yeah, they're gonna try to do anything and everything to convince you that they're happy. And even if they're not, obviously they're not. They can't be. If they're a true narcissist, they're not happy. But they're gonna try to do anything and everything to convince you of that. They'll post photos, vacation videos, whatever it takes to get them looking happy and fit, you know, but internally they're suffering and they're miserable. Um, they will go out of their way to convince you of that because they are not happy. You shouldn't have to convince people that you're happy. If you are truly, honestly happy, there's no need to convince anyone. So if you're truly 100% happy, you don't have to convince anyone. Like if you're truly 100% rich and famous, like Donald Trump, for example, you don't have to pull out your money and convince everybody. You don't have to do that. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Alicia. I'm glad that you enjoy it. Thank you. I appreciate your support. I appreciate it so much. Yeah, they're gonna drag it out. Any type of divorce, it's craziness. They want to drag out the amount of supply that they can get from you. So yeah, if it's just something simple like signing something, they're gonna try to drag it out. It's a damn shame. It's like they just can't move on. They're the type of people that they just cannot move on from things and let things go and live their own life and realize when things are over. They just can't do it. They just can't. They're just gonna drag everything out. And Tanya, that man, that's crazy because usually they never give up, almost literally never. And it takes such discipline to get them to give up, and you accomplished it, obviously, but that's good. But you know, it doesn't mean they're gonna give up forever. They're probably gonna circle back around. If they see you go through a breakup or a hard time or something bad happen, they're gonna try again. You know, I don't think they ever really fully give up, you know, not 100%, because internally they're never gonna be fully happy. They're never gonna be 100% happy with anybody. So no matter who they're with, they're always gonna try to circle back around, especially if they see you're going through a hard time or something. That's when they know that you're vulnerable, that's when they're gonna come back for you. If anything goes wrong in your life, if somebody around you dies or a friend or a mutual friend or whatever, something happens, they're going to contact you and they're going to try to get back with you and their supply. Um, because it never really, they never really give up. They don't give up. You know, they're so persistent. They're like Michael Myers from Halloween movies. They just, you know, no matter what you do, they're just going to keep going and going and going and going. Yeah, I'm curious. How did you stop the Hoovers? I'm so curious. You have to be so disciplined and you can't give them any supply. And it takes such a long time and such an amount of energy to get them to give up because they don't understand when things are over. You know, they don't understand it. And even in the breakup, they're going to try to get supply from you. It's such a hard thing. I don't know if you can ever 100% end hoovering unless they get locked up for life, like P. Diddy might. P. Diddy might be going away for life, but I don't think they ever fully give up. Not 100%. I know that while you're breaking up and they're trying to get supply from you, I know for a fact that they're going to monitor everything around you. Uh, Hoovering is trying to get your ex back. That's all it is. It came from the Hoover vacuum, actually. Hoovering suck you back in. Um, so, like, if a couple breaks up, they'll try to get back with the ex. They'll come back and, yeah, sucking you back in. They'll come back over any stupid reason, like, I left a bag of rice here. I need that rice back. Can you give that back to me? Yeah, it sucks. It sucks. Yeah. But they'll come back over a fucking bag of rice. I left a bag of rice here. I need it. Don't be trying to take my rice. You know, I need my rice. And it lasts almost like it's like a permanent thing almost. Every time you refuse their Hoover, they're gonna give it time and they're just gonna try again. You know, that's the messed up part about it. Even when they're with somebody else, they'll try to Hoover you back in. I have extreme boundaries since the breakup, complete 180. I used to be a fairy tale weak princess. Yeah, yeah. Being with a narcissist will change you into Linda Hamilton from Terminator 2. You'll be a war machine. Yeah, yeah. It'll make you strong as hell. Yep. Yeah, you can't. They're gonna force you to be strong. You know. Yep. They're gonna force you to say no to them 1,000 times or more. And if you have kids with them, that's the worst thing. I wish people, man, wow. If you have kids with them, they're going to use the kids to try to Hoover you back. They're going to tell the kids to tell mommy that I'm in therapy finally. I accepted it. I'm going to therapy. Um, all kinds of lies. And even if they do go to therapy, it doesn't mean they're going to change. Have you gotten back a girl just to break up with her, Katie? Yes, I have. Yeah, I've done that before. Yeah, I don't want to name her name, but her name was Donna, and this was this was years ago. Wow, 20, maybe almost 20 years. She had broken up with me, and then oh yeah, I don't know. Oh, she left. Wait, what did she do? Uh, I don't know. She broke up with me for something. Oh, she broke up with me because I was working weird hours. Yeah, I think that's what it was. I was working like a second or third shift, and then I got back with her. Well, let me back up. Well, she broke up with me because I was working a second shift, and then I would work third shifts too sometimes. And she said there's not enough time to be together. It was like the weirdest thing. And then I took a block of vacation time and worked on trying to get her back, like a full. I think it was like a week and a couple days or something. And then I got her back, and I told her, I'm getting a new job. I was just whatever. I just told her a bunch of stuff, and then she took me back, and then I broke up with her. And she's like, "Well, why did you break up with me?" I go, "Well, you have such odd hours of availability." I did the whole thing back to her. And she's like, "What? Odd hours of availability?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's what it is. I'm sorry. It's not going to work out." And then, yeah, that was it with her. I've done it before, not often. That one stood out, but we weren't together that long. We were only together a few months. And I think I think she was cheating on me. I'm not sure. I don't really know. I think she was. But yeah, and then I did the whole thing back to her, and it is very common. Alicia, yeah, it is. Yeah, I know. Oh, what's his name? Oh, the Nameless Narcissist did a video on that a long time ago. He's not on YouTube anymore, but he did a video about that. He took somebody back. They begged him to come back, and he just dumped her because she broke up with him. It was something like that. She broke up with him first. Yeah, that's what it was. And he begged her back and got her back, and then ended up dumping her. And then I think, if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me, I think he took her virginity and everything. Like, it was terrible. And he's like, that was one of my, I think he was like, that was one of my worst things I've done to someone. He was talking about worst things he's done or something. That was one of them. It is common. And Alicia, another thing that happens is they'll try to keep doing it too. Once is not enough for them. They'll keep doing it. They'll come back as many times as you let them, and they'll just keep dumping you over and over, until you get tired of it. That's when it actually ends, is when you get tired of it, not when they get tired of it. I'm curious, Tanya, how did you figure out how to have extreme boundaries, and how did you stay within those boundaries? If you can answer that, I'm so curious, because that's one of the things people ask me about. And all I have is basic advice. Have your boundaries, hold your boundaries, but that's not going to help. How do you hold the boundaries, though? That's the real question. How do people do that? But I think you have to just be so disciplined with it. It's like an exercise. It's like exercising. It's like exercising a muscle. You have to be so disciplined with it. And if you're not disciplined with it, and you falter, they're gonna come back in your life. Um, I am curious. I had meant to ask you how you did it. We know you did it, but how did you maintain the boundaries, though? How do you maintain that? And Katie, do you have any boundaries right now with friends or anything? Oh, you listen to HD Tutor, and he says no supply. And supply can even be just asking, how are you? Yeah, wow. That's true. Yeah, that's really true. I like HD Tutor, but he's into so many celebrities. He doesn't really talk too much about narcissism like he used to. And yeah, that's true. Blank face. What does that mean? No niceness. Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, because you're not giving them supply. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and he talks so much about celebrities nowadays. He rarely goes into narcissism anymore. His older stuff is much better. Yeah, you're right. And he's not a full narcissist. Well, he's a psychopath, I think, too, on top of it. Like, he has psych psychopathic tendencies or whatever. But I used to like him. His channel changed a lot the last few years. Yeah, no niceness, facial expressions, not really. I want people in my life that I could trust. Do you have anyone in your life as a friend that you could trust now, Katie? Yeah, I think, Alicia, I think his older stuff, like, gosh, aren't we talking like 4 or 5 years ago or something? Used to only focus on narcissism. Now it's all celebrity stuff. And I don't even know what his channel's about anymore. I haven't listened to him in a long time. But you have to go back into his older stuff. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think he has either 2 or 3 channels. The No Expression, Yeah, that's a form of supply. That's why a lot of times if you're going through a divorce with children, for example, they have these apps that you can use instead of communication directly. But obviously, you have to make sure they're admissible in court. Some of these apps are most of these apps are though. Um, but yeah, it'll all go on the app instead of your phone. That's the best way to do it. Even a hand gesture, I haven't heard of that one. Like, what? A hand gesture? I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, I guess maybe in some ways. I mean, they'll just take scraps of anything. If you're ignoring them and you have boundaries and you're not giving them any supply, yeah, that's true. Yeah, I guess I could see that. Wait, he has a new channel now? Okay, I have to look into that. The old stuff. Yeah, his old stuff was amazing. Okay, I have to see. So he has a celebrity channel. Okay. And narcissism and psychopathy. That makes sense. Katie, you have a friend that's a narcissist? Wow. Okay, so why do you what? How do you forget he's a narcissist? How do you know he's a wait, how do you know he's a narcissist? Are you just saying that or oh hey, fuel up. How are you today? Hope you're having a great Sunday. Okay, let me read your message. If I send my ex a text about our son, he thinks I'm trying to hoover him back. He turns me into the narc in his mind and uses all methods against me because he says I'm the narc. Yeah, that's a typical pattern. They try to reverse it. They try to make you think that you're the toxic person and you're the narcissist, obviously, so they can deflect blame and escape accountability. It's a common tactic. Um, that's why I recommend those parenting apps. If you're co-parenting with a narcissist and you have, especially if you have children involved, but you need to get those apps that are admissible in court. I did a video about co-parenting and narcissism. If you want to watch it, I can't off the top of my head for now. I'm sorry, I can't think of the name of the apps, but I know two of them are completely free, and I believe two of those two are admissible in almost every court in America. That's what you need to use if you're co-parenting. But yeah, and fuel up. Just remember, let them say whatever they're going to want to say. The apps are important because it takes away emotion. You can't be arguing in these apps, because everything will go directly to the courts. But if you're not doing that, then yeah, just don't argue with them. Um, don't give them any reason to argue about anything or give them any supply. And just realize that a lot of narcissists like to think that other people are narcissists because it deflects blame, accountability, and shame. For the most part, most narcissists are not going to admit to being a narcissist. They're going to lash out and be very pissed off about it. They're going to try to harm you. In fact, just by telling them that you think they might be a narcissist, they could try to harm you. It's pretty dangerous to tell people that they're a narcissist. You should never do that. And by this person telling you that they think you're a narcissist, yeah, that's real shitty. That's real fucked up. Um, don't fall into that trap though. Don't defend yourself. Don't defend yourself. And Tanya Elizabeth, just remembering he's an actual narcissist. I gray rock him to the umpteenth level. I barely say hi when he takes our daughter. That's good. Perfect. A lot of people can learn from that. That's great information. I hope people are paying attention to you. That's really good. Um, I am so curious. Just asking out of curiosity, how do you know he's an actual narcissist? Are you just basing it off of the patterns from what you think the patterns are? Um, I know they're probably not going to admit to being a narcissist, but I'm just curious about that. Nobody, man, my lighting is so off today. I can't see my horns or nothing, but my horns are there. I don't know. I gotta do something with my lighting. I don't know. I could sort of see them, but it's really hot. So I'm gonna take these off. But anyway, I did have my devil horns. Uh, yeah. Yep. Well, that'd be a cool thumbnail. Oh wow, that's cool. Yeah. I'm taking them off. It's real hot. Where was I? Oh, so this person's diagnosed, Katie? Okay. All right. Did they accept their diagnosis and do you love them? And do you feel that they love you, Katie? That's my questions. Well, fuel up, he probably got off a little bit easy. I mean, no co-parenting. He gives me and his son the silent treatment. It's terrible for the son. It's really bad that a son can't be involved in parent's life. That's sad. You know, man, that's brutal. But like I always say, they're gonna try to do anything and everything to hurt you. It's so sad though. Um, Gosh, yeah, man. I always when I was young, when I was a kid, I all I wanted was my parents in my life more. Like I had my mom, but she was a raging narcissist. I mean, she was like a malignant narcissist. But at least I could say I had her there. I would have done anything as a child to have my father, anything at all as a kid. I would have done anything just to hug my father one more time. It's so brutal what they do to these children, to children. Like my father left when I was around 8 or 9 or so, but I just remember looking out the window for him and thinking, if I could just have one more hug, I would literally trade my life. As a kid, these are thoughts I was having. I just wanted my father to say something to me, one more thing. He left without even saying goodbye, and it's hard, man. It's hard. Wow. I don't know the age, fuel up of your children or your kid, but what I would say is, if you could maybe just try to educate them somehow, some way, when you feel that it's age appropriate on narcissism, just have them watch my channel. Have them watch my channel. No, I'm joking, but have them understand what it is and why they're doing it. So at least there's a reasonable explanation. Because I didn't have that when my father left. I didn't understand why he left. So at least if they're educated about it, it might be a lot easier. Yeah. And Alicia, you're right. You're lucky you got the silent treatment. Yeah. Yeah, it's a trade-off. Yeah, it's better than being abused and screamed at and yelled at and mistreated and they rage on you. They become like demonic. They become monsters. You know, I I hate to say this. I've been so conflicted with this, but it's like they become possessed by the devil in a lot of ways. But I really truly don't believe they are. I believe in Christ. I believe in Jesus. I believe he's the only way. Anything and everything in my life I owe to Christ. God chose to save me, and I'm extremely, extremely lucky for that. But the evil things they're doing, it's so hard to say that they're not demonic. It's so hard to say that when you hear stories about them screaming and yelling and they have these black demonic looking eyes. It's hard to say that it's not demons and they're not possessed. I just don't think they are. I just think they're demonically influenced because if they were full blown possessed, they wouldn't have the ability to function in the world. That's just my opinion, though. And I'm I'm probably wrong. They're probably possessed by devils. I don't know. I don't know. They probably are, but it's so hard to prove that. But I keep hearing that. I think they're demonically influenced. That's what I believe. Because I know that when I have a choice between doing something evil and something good, for example, like the evil thing that comes out as a voice is my mom telling me to do something bad. And that inside my heart, I know it's bad and evil or whatever. But that's how I know there's some influence with the devil there somewhere, somehow. but I don't think I was ever possessed by a devil or possessed by a demon, because I could take my son out and we could have like a picnic or whatever, and I could be totally fine. If I was possessed, I wouldn't have that ability. But there are certain things I remember my mom's voice telling me to do things like if I was going to cheat on a woman or whatever, she's like, "Well, don't you think she's cheating on you?" And it was like a demonic voice, but it was my mother. So I don't think it's full blown possession. I don't think it is. I don't know. I'm so conflicted though. Let me just say I'm conflicted on that. Um, Yeah, but Tanya, they don't have to go to therapy and get diagnosed. Toxic is toxic. If they're treating you bad, they're treating you bad. Narcissist or not, it doesn't make a difference. But if all the patterns are there and you can see the entitlement, the rage, if all the patterns are there, then obviously you don't you're dealing with at least a toxic person. Um, And they will joke about being dangerous, and they are dangerous. They are very, very dangerous, actually. Depends on the level of, uh, depends on the level of the disorder. I think like malignant narcissists are extremely dangerous, and you have to remember that often they do have empathy. I don't want to get too far off topic. Narcissists have empathy. They just don't have a way to get it often, but they're telling you this because they are actually dangerous. They're very dangerous people, extremely. And part of that is the lack of empathy. They could hurt you so bad and not realize it half the time. They don't understand how bad they're hurting you because, again, they don't have the empathy to understand that. Um, and yeah, they are very dangerous. They tell you things as a joke, and often the jokes are little truth bombs disguised as jokes. Like, I got something terrible to say, like there was a girl I was dating, I was cheating on her with her friend. This was when I was in high school, years and years ago. Well, anyway, um, we were all her friend was pretty shitty for doing this too. But like I was dating her, we were walking through the halls, and then her friend comes up, and then I said something about her friend wearing a dress or something. I forgot what it was. I go, "What do you think? I'm gonna be cheating on you with her? Give me a break." Yeah, that's me. I'm cheating on you with her, and I actually was, but it was like fun to say that and joke around about it. It was like oh my god, it was maniacal just to joke around about that, about reality, and tell the truth and let it out. It's like a confession disguised as a joke. It was so bizarre. I was young. I don't even know, 17 maybe, but yeah, it's fun to confess things. And they're not joking, they are dangerous. They're confessing it, they're telling you. People don't listen though. All these little jokes they do, sometimes there's truth in there. Pay attention to what they're joking about. So, Katie, you know that you love each other, but you think the friendship survives and thrives because we accept each other as we are? Oh, so this guy, it's a guy, right? You said he's a narcissist and diagnosed, and he knows he's a narcissist. Am I wrong or right or what? And he accepts you as, what do you think you are? An empath? A super empath? What does he think you are? What does he think you are, Katie, besides a good friend? Now, how long have you known this person? I'm so curious. Did you witness any abuse, or did he abuse you, or did you witness like his family being nasty or whatever? Alicia, yeah, we try to co-parent, but he just uses you and his son for supply when he comes around and isn't very emotionally available. They never are. Yeah, they're not. They're demonically influenced. You have to remember that. Oh, I don't know if my volume. Katie, can you hear me? S- I just heard something weird. But anyway, yeah. Let me know if you can hear me. But yeah, they're not emotionally available. That's the sad part. That's a really sad part. because they're dragging their kids down in a lot of ways, and that's heartbreaking. And at the end of the day, there's really not a whole lot you can do about it. And I would only say that you have to look if you're co-parenting and they divide the time 50-50 co-parenting, you have a 50% chance of showing them the light and showing them about narcissism, NPD, and this disorder and what it does to people. You have a 50% chance of positively influencing them while they're negatively influencing them. That is so sad though. Yeah. Uh Man. I mean, kids need their parents around, but I will say if the parent is toxic and abusive, maybe they don't in some ways, maybe they don't. Because at the end of the day, you want your child to be happy. And just because a person's a part of your family and a part of your bloodlines or whatever, that doesn't mean they can't be toxic. My mom was extremely toxic and she was my mother. I only had to deal with her because I had no choice as a child. But growing up, I wish somebody would have taken me out of that, but nobody ever did. All I'm saying is that a family member can be extremely toxic and hurtful and harmful, narcissistic. I think my mom was a malignant narcissist, and all the signs were there. Um, so, yeah, maybe it works out in some ways. I hate to say this, Alicia, but maybe in some ways, if they're extremely toxic, maybe they're better off without them in some ways. It's a hard thing to say and it's a hard thing to absorb, and I get it. And I'm extremely sorry that you have to go through this. I'm so sorry. Katie, you don't know what he thinks. He discards you. What? How does he? What? Wait, you're not dating. It's a friend, right? How did? Oh, well, yeah. I guess you could discard as a friendship. He discards you probably because he feels ashamed of something. He may or may not have understood what he did at the time. Maybe he did something and is embarrassed. A lot of times they discard you out of just being embarrassed about something and maybe they don't feel like they should apologize, maybe something like that. Maybe they don't want a conflict, so I don't know. That is so bizarre. And you accept him or yeah, to him, I guess, as a discard, you accept that. Wow, okay. And it's good you have a full life and there isn't drama when he comes back. Well, that's good. I mean, yeah. Okay, fuel up. He would use the worst lies that he knew I wouldn't believe just to get power and know he could get away with it. When I first met him, he told me his cousin was a pathological liar, but it was him. That's so traditional narcissist. Wow. Yeah. That's exactly what they do. They'll lie, especially about their exes too. They'll lie about their exes and just say, yeah, they're a compulsive liar, they're thieves, they're this, they're that. That's a red flag to watch out for. What the hell? Where am I? Oh, I'm still on. Oh, but yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, they'll accuse other people of things that they actually are. That's kind of funny. That is so hilarious. Oh, there. Okay. They will grow up and see who the real evil parent is. Yeah, Tanya, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, and it's like um everything in this world that you try to hide from God, everything in the world that you try to hide from God, I swear it will come to light. Jesus will reveal all. Everything gets revealed. It may not be overnight, but yeah, they'll figure out who the evil person is. Alicia, you're lucky because he has visitation only, but God is a father to the fatherless. Amen. Oh my gosh, that is so nice. I love to hear that. Yeah. God is the father to the fatherless. That's so true. Yeah. When I became when I reconnected with my faith, um everything in my life began to change. It wasn't overnight, but everything in my life, I felt like I had a father, honestly, someone I could talk to, someone I know that's going to be there. I know Jesus is going to do things for me, and I know that when I pray and ask God for things, and he doesn't give it to me, I don't need it. And when you pray to God and ask for something and he doesn't deliver it, that's probably something you don't need or something you don't that's may not be healthy for you. It's so true. God is the father to the fatherless. And I always say the same thing every time. I repeat myself. The closer people get to Jesus, the better your life can get. I don't know anyone that's gotten close to Jesus. Anyone. I have not heard anyone that's gotten close to Jesus and has made their life worse. It's only gotten better. And I've only gotten happier. I've only gotten more fulfilled in my life. I've gotten more productive. I've gotten a lot of my feelings back, believe it or not, a closeness and a bond with people in my life. And everything has changed. Everything in my life has changed the closer I got to Jesus. And even people that don't believe in Jesus, you have to pray for them and pray that someday they will believe in him and his miracles that he showed us time and time again. So many miracles. There's so many. It's an endless amount of miracles. And it makes me so happy that Jesus is my Lord and Savior. Do narcissists feel shame? Yes, Katie. Um, their whole life is basically shame. That's pretty much the genesis of narcissism. It's a shame based disorder. As a child, they became ashamed to be who they are. So they developed a false self. So that's shame as a child. And the shame only grows as they get older and as they develop outside the family function and try to function in society. Um, and shame produces a lot of internal unrest and anger, rage. They're constantly angry about something, constantly. From the time they get up to the time they go to bed, they're constantly upset about something. And that shame, if people understood how much shame a narcissist had, they would get the whole disorder, I think. So, like, if you make a narcissist mad about something and you want them to apologize, they'll feel so ashamed and they won't apologize for it because they'll have that shame and it'll just manifest as anger and they'll just be so mad. And manifesting that anger is not what Jesus wants us to do, but that's how they live their life. So that anger means they're probably going to exactly do what you're saying. They discarded you. And that was because they felt deep, deep levels of shame. And it was a trigger from their childhood that triggered this shame and rage. And then on top of that, they repeat the cycle because they get angry that they felt ashamed that you made them feel this way, and you made them feel angry, and you made them feel like a little kid again, and that triggered them, and they're gonna feel ashamed over getting mad at you over that initial whatever the thing was that triggered it. But anyway, yeah, they feel shame 24 hours, 7 days a week. But I will say that people can heal from this disorder if they go to therapy. Like if there's a narcissist that actually genuinely wants to heal, there's only a couple ways to do it. You have to go to therapy alone, and you have to find Jesus Christ. This is the only thing that's going to save your soul. The only thing is living with what God wants you to live and living with what would make Jesus happy. How do you want to live your life? How do you want to live? How do you want to make Jesus happy? And being a narcissist and living with NPD, that's not what God wants because he wants you to be happy. I fully believe that 110%. He wants us to be as happy as we possibly can. And being a narcissist is the counter of everything that Jesus wants from us. And he wants us to be happy and he wants us to find him. He wants a relationship with you and he wants to hear you praying for him and praying to him. And you don't need anyone else in your life besides Jesus Christ. And therapy will help you. And when I reconnected with my faith, everything else was fixed. Everything else in my life. That's all I know. So Alicia, Psalms 68, 5, New International Version 5. A father to the fatherless, a defender of widows, is God in his holy dwelling. Yes, amen. Thank you for that. Yeah, I love Bible quotes. I love those. They really uplift me and they make a big difference in my life. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those that are crushed in spirit. That's one of my favorite lines. Whenever I'm going through something, I also remember that through Christ, all things are possible. Um, that's another thing I remember no matter what I'm going through. I know it's not it's not always my decision to figure things out because when God puts you in a tough situation, you have to remember he put you there for a reason, and it's not always what you're going to figure out. God put you there and he's going to figure it out. So you don't need to have the answers to everything. God does. And that's it. That's all you have to remember. God has all the answers. Alicia, yeah, I've done several videos. I really believe narcs get what they deserve, 120%. Yeah, I did a gnome video about how, I don't know if you watch my shorts. I have several short videos on how narcissist, the the gnome videos are symbolic in the fact that they're hollow, and that's how narcissists are. I believe most narcissists are hollow inside and they have a void inside of them. So any and all of my short videos, they'll tell you the same thing almost in different ways. But yeah, watch some of my videos and watch the one, Alicia, I did a long video, what God does to a narcissist. This is an eye-opening video, but it's 18 minutes if you really want to understand it. They always get what they deserve. You cannot hide from God. You cannot hide from karma. They always, always, always will. When you mistreat people and you live a life of harming others and not contributing to society and cheating on people, lying all the time, God will provide justice. And you may not ever see it, you may not understand it, but God provides justice. And that's just what God does. It's not like they're going to go on Facebook and say, "Oh, I'm so miserable. This is the worst day of my life," or whatever. They're going to make you think that they're living their happiest life, but they're not. No narcissist can be happy. It's just not possible. They have a void inside of them, just like my gnomes. They're hollow, and they. Can you imagine living with the inability to love people and living with an internal void full of shame? They get what they deserve. They always will, and God will provide justice. They always get what they deserve. Yeah, Katie, that's true. That's it. Yeah. A narcissist becomes angry if you point out something that they've done wrong. That's true because they feel their shame. They feel shame, childhood shame. Shame is what basically started someone on the road to being a narcissist, but they're ashamed to be themselves because let's say they were criticized by their parents or friends or family. Usually it's a parental figure, and they become ashamed of who they are, so they have to act like somebody else and develop the false self. The false self is somebody that has a huge ego, often for no reason, and it's a fake false self. So when you tell them that they've done something wrong, even if they are in the wrong, they're not going to admit it and they're going to feel ashamed. And that's activating shame, which activates anger. But even if they're not angry, let's say they're not angry with you and they're just ashamed, they don't know how to come back sometimes and apologize. Do you know how hard it is for a narcissist to apologize? It's like pulling a tooth out with pliers. It's incredibly hard and very painful. They can do it, but it's so incredibly difficult. I mean, even after years of therapy, they would struggle with it, I would imagine. Years of therapy, so you have to remember that. And if they don't reach out first, sometimes if you reach out to them, but don't expect an apology, don't expect them to apologize. It's really difficult. And if they do, it's a minor miracle. You should appreciate even a half-assed apology. I'm telling you, even a half-assed one is better than nothing. Oh, yeah, Tanya. Yeah, I definitely have a relationship with God. Thank you. Thank you so much for saying that. Yeah, I know there's a lot of channels, but there's no channels like mine. I am the absolute best channel on narcissism on YouTube, period. I'm just joking. But yeah, you're right. The algorithm doesn't push Jesus stuff. Yeah, that's a shame. I know. I know. I know. But I don't care because I have to be who I am. And who I am is, I'm a Christian. I believe in Jesus. And I know there's a lot of channels that are self-aware channels like Vachnan, and they don't, and that's fine. I have nothing against them, but in my opinion, I think that Christ is the only real answer that you need. That's all I know, and that's what I know. Alicia, Katie, oh yeah, Katie, that was my experience with my ex hubby. If I asked for help, try to talk to the relationship, it was a threat to control. Yeah, yeah, they'll try to get around that. They don't want to communicate. They don't want to make things better. They don't want to apologize. They don't want to take responsibility when they do things wrong. Even if they did do something wrong. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Katie, I don't know if you're here still, but yeah, that's a good message. Fuel up. One time he came home from the store and asked if I remembered to get bananas, and raged and told me I was shaming him. I was never allowed to talk to him about his behavior. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. See, even a common mistake, like missing a banana, we're all human beings, right? Nobody's perfect. And that's why Jesus came down and died for our sins because he knows we're not perfect, you know? And I mean, you guys could fight over bananas. How pathetic. I mean, that's how narcissists are, though. Instead of just saying, I'm sorry, I fucked up or whatever, that is sad. That is sad. They could just apologize and move on with their day. Or, oh, you forgot bananas? I'll go to the store and get them. You know, nobody's perfect in this world. Not here. Alicia, who is Leon Walker? Oh, I is he a he's a fitness guy? I don't. I mean, I haven't. I mean, I do work out, but I'm not like a bodybuilder or anything. I do work out. Um, I don't know, a fitness guy. Uh, I mean, I guess, yeah, I guess diet and exercise is important. I don't, maybe I don't really know who Leon Walker is. I'm sorry. Is that a fitness? I think he's a fitness guy. I'm probably wrong. I'm an idiot. I'm probably wrong. Leon Walker. I don't know. Fuel up. Yeah, shame is so bad for them. Yeah. And you would see him scared of what he does, and other times he would say he has no fear. Yeah, they are. Narcissists are full of contradictions um, because they don't have fear of cheating and treating you bad. They don't have fear of God. That's why it's so important to reconnect with Jesus and have that faith. Um, I don't think they're serious though. He does. Other times he would say some of them actually, you know what? Some of them don't have any fear, like the malignant style narcissists. Like my mother, they don't care, man. My mom literally had no fear. She would go up to anyone at any time and just cuss them out for like literally nothing. Like literally police officers. She didn't care about anything. She literally was the only person, well, no, not the only, one of the only people I've known that had literally no fear of anything. Like she just didn't care. She would go up to people if they cut in front of her at the grocery store, she would just like scream at them. She would confront my teachers if I lost pencils. you know, like the craziest stuff. So fuel up. Yeah, sometimes they don't have any fear at all, none. Especially the malignant narcissists. Yeah, sometimes they have none, and that's why a lot of them. I hate to say this, a lot of them can end up deleting their partner, and A lot of times they'll delete the partner and not even realize they're doing it because they're so stupid and fearless and they lack empathy so much. They could just treat you bad and drag you straight to hell, literally and figuratively, straight to hell by criticizing and demeaning you, criticizing oxygen, anything, everything that you do from the time you get up to the time you go to bed, and you're just lost in a fog. Your confidence is gone. And you just don't want to be on earth. And they'll just let you do it because they're so stupid and they don't understand empathy and they have no fear of what's going to happen. It happens so often. They just don't understand how people feel about things. They have no way to understand by criticizing this person 24 hours, 7 days a week, lowering their confidence where they don't even want to shower anymore. Think about that. And they're going to delete themselves. And the narcissist, it's so disgusting to say this. Maybe they are possessed by demons. I don't freaking know. I'm so conflicted on this, but maybe they are. But what I've heard, I've read so many stories about this. They'll get their partner to delete themselves and then they'll use that for more fuel. Look at me, I'm a widow, poor me. Oh my gosh, all I did was try to help her out and she deleted herself. I don't know why she did that. Why would she delete herself? Oh, look at me, poor me. And then the whole family, people in the family and people on the other side would see this narcissist, this poor guy just tried to help. And look, now he's a widow. He had such good intentions, and the person will end up deleting themselves. It happens so many times. It's sad. I'm okay, fuel up. Asked about saving money for a roof we needed, and they called me. I called you greedy. What the fuck? Over a roof? Jesus. Wow. Talk about irrational. Okay, Alicia, so he's a narcissist? Oh, okay. So he's like a fitness guy. Okay, I think I've seen him. I know who that is. Oh, wait, no, he's not a fitness guy. Okay. He talks about God and narcissism. Okay. So, uh, I wonder if he subscribed to my channel. Does he have a big channel? Leon Walker? Alicia, does he have a big channel? And he talks about God and narcissism. Oh, awesome. Okay. Yeah, maybe I'll hook up with him and email him and tell him we should do a live stream together. It's so hard though, because I'm a faceless channel and yeah, that's difficult. Yeah, Tanya, they don't have de-escalation skills exactly right. Any little disagreement will turn into World War III because they need drama and they need supply and they need to keep feeding the internal void inside of them. They have an internal void of nothingness, lack of God, I guess you could call it, lack of Christ, lack of a Holy Spirit. It's a blackness, it's a void, um, it's a nothingness, and they have to constantly seek they have to constantly seek perfection in everything and anyone. So if you make one little mistake, you're not perfect anymore, and they get so mad about that, and that's part of the disorder. It's really disgusting. I feel like they have some demonic influence somewhere. They have to. Yeah, fuel up. You were at the point of self-harming because of all the abuse. Your mind was close to gone, but through God and family, I am through and still healing, but not self-harming. That's good. I will pray to God that God looks out for you, and I encourage you to keep praying to Jesus Christ and have Him in your heart every day and read your Bible. That's so important. When you have a tough time, reconnecting with your faith and remembering that God put you in this tough time for a reason, and we don't need to understand it, but we're here, and this is what God did. So we don't need to understand it, but this is what happened, and we need to realize and accept it And there's a way out of any and all trials and tribulations on earth through Jesus Christ that came down from heaven to die for our sins. And I wish people would understand that. And I hope more people understand that. And it was the only thing that ever helped me out, I guarantee you. Um, Still helping me out. And I'm so glad you're not self-harming. Fuel up. Please promise me you won't do that anymore. I don't want you to do that. I don't think God would want you to do that either. Please stop. Please don't do that. Alicia, he's got 50K. It's probably not going to last. Most narcissists are terrible with money. I remember years ago, I had, gosh, how much was it? It was like almost 3 grand. I don't even know what I did with it. This was a few years ago. Yeah, I had about $3,000. Maybe it was more. It's a little over 3,000. And oh no, this was more than 3 years ago. It was maybe 4 or 5 years. I had about $3 or $4,000. Literally, I'm not joking. Within a couple months, it was gone. I don't even know what I spent the money on. I don't even. I know I ate out a bunch. I think I bought. I don't even. I bought some exercise things. Weird. It's weird. All this money was just gone. Yeah, and I was told intimacy before diapers for our son. What? So your partner wanted intimacy before diapers? Wow. Yeah, talk about selfish. That is wow. That is the very definition of selfish. Wow. I don't even think I was that bad. Gosh. I'm trying to remember. There's so much of my life I don't fucking remember. But I'm trying to remember gosh. No, I don't think I've ever done anything like that. That's crazy. Wow. It's always about when my daughter was young, it was always about her needs first, and then we could suffer later, me and my ex. Leon Walker Jr., I could have sworn that's a fitness guy, but I'm probably wrong. Obviously, he's a narcissist. And I thought it was a fitness guy, and he talks about God. I'll check his channel out, Leon Walker. What's the name of his channel? Is it just Leon Walker? That'd be interesting. There's not many people out there that talk about how Christ can change your life, how God can change you no matter what you're going through. And we should all be happy and thankful and grateful that we have heaven to look forward to, you know. And sometimes I just want to cry because I'm so happy about it. It's just the most amazing thing to think that's what's going to happen, you know, when we pass from here and we don't have to suffer anymore. We could be with who we're meant to be with. Tanya, have you ever went back to apologize to any? Uh, okay, yeah, I have. Sort of. I reconnected with an ex recently, and we got into a little bit of dialogue, and I had asked her about her current boyfriend. I don't remember how it went. We were just kind of sort of reconnecting as friends, and I was going to make my way around to apologize to her, but she was claiming we got sort of into an argument because she was saying she wasn't dating this guy, but I found out she was basically, and she was saying she wasn't, and I was like, "Why are we arguing about this? It's obviously you dated him." And then she finally said, "Okay, whether I did or didn't, it doesn't make a difference," and she blocked me. But yeah, I was trying to apologize about everything, but we didn't even make it past 24 hours because I don't know. She was trying to lie. I think she's borderline. She was borderline. So yeah, I'm almost positive. I looked back on our relationship and everything we went through. I'm 99.9% sure she was borderline, and they they're a whole different category of toxic. Sometimes not all borderlines are the same, but sometimes they're really well, honestly, sometimes they're worse than narcissists. Um, but yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I tried to go back and apologized to her, but it didn't make it past 24 hours because she got mad about the fact that I basically caught her in a lie, and she ended up, blocking me again. But that was my goal. My goal was to apologize to her, and I never got to it. But that was my initial goal. I don't know if I ever speak to her again. And then the one prior to that, my ex-wife, I did apologize. We had Chinese food. We had a nice dinner. We had a nice lunch, and we were very, very, very friendly. Um, I even ended up. We ended up. I apologized. I started crying. I was like, I'm not the same person. I know you don't want me back. I don't blame you, but I was trying to tell her about Christ, and she doesn't believe in Christ and all this. So we were talking. It was such a wonderful conversation, but I did apologize. I got that out. We hugged it out and stuff, and it was weird because we ended up kissing. I don't even know where that came from. She had a boyfriend too. It was weird. It was after her divorce and everything, and that was the last time I saw her. And but I did apologize to her. I made it back and apologized to her though. I was grateful to do that. But I haven't apologized to any, or I apologized to one. I didn't get to the other one. I think it's I think the problem is that a lot of the women I dated, they don't want nothing to do with me anymore. And I'm not blaming them, but I really have no way to apologize because they're staying far, far, far away from me. So I don't have a way to apologize to them. If they're watching my stream, some of them are. I apologize for my past behaviors, of course, but um I can't I can't reach them, so I can't really do it. Oh my gosh, Leon has 50,000 followers? Wow, or 50,000 subscribers. Okay. I'll connect with him. I only have, what do I have? I think I have, I forgot I think I have 5,000. I think I have 5,000. I'm pretty sure I have over 5,000 subs now. Wow, 50,000. Yeah, that'd be so cool to do a live stream. But, a long time ago, I did a live stream with this guy called Narc Survivor. He has over 195,000 subs now. And at the time, I think he had, well, maybe he has about the same. I did a live stream with him. It didn't really help my channel much. He was so boring. Oh my gosh. In my opinion, I'm just gonna say this. In my opinion, that guy Narc Survivor, I would say go watch his channel. Go watch Narc Survivor and tell me what you think. Because in my opinion, I think he's a narcissist, and I think he doesn't understand that he's a narcissist. I think he's a raging narcissist. I think he's the worst narcissist than me. I think he was worse than I ever was in my entire life, times 10. But that's just my opinion. His channel is Narc Survivor. Yeah, Narc Survivor. His name is Chris. Go watch his channel. I honestly, truly, genuinely think he's a narcissist, in my opinion. I have no proof. I can't diagnose him. I'm not, saying that, but just as an opinion, I think he's a raging narcissist. And I have inside information on this guy that you would not fucking believe on Narc Survivor. But I am not gonna bash him. I'm not gonna bring it to light because he told me these things in private. He told me these things in phone calls, and he told me these things in emails. I have receipts, and I can honestly say that knowing what I know, which I'm not gonna share right now, I would just say that, in my opinion, he's a narcissist and he doesn't realize that he is. That's just my opinion. And I want little to nothing to do with him ever again. But um, I do encourage people to watch his channel. It's only going to help him. But I mean, judge for yourself. I'm just giving my opinion. I think he's a narcissist. I think he's a phony and a fraud and a fake. But that's just all my opinion, and it's opinions based on insider information about him. I know him extremely well, but I'm not gonna. get into the whole reasoning behind it. But so Leon has wow, TikTok followers. I think that's what that is. Yeah. That's not I don't know if 50 grand is a lot on TikTok, but I don't I am on TikTok. I do really shitty numbers. I think I I think I have what do I have? 35 or 38 followers on TikTok. But I do have a TikTok. TikTok is all right, I guess. I mean, I have no problem with TikTok. Oh, Katie, yeah, I meant it when I apologized to her because I know that I did a lot of things wrong to her. I know I treated her like shit. I know I did a lot of, I don't even want to tell you what I did to her. I know I did a lot of shitty things to her. And I don't want to say her name, but it starts with a K and it ends with an N. All right. But I don't want to say the name. It has an A in there too and an R and maybe a vowel like an E. But I don't want to say her name. But I treat her like absolute trash. Yeah, I treated her so bad. I'm glad I got to apologize. I still can't wrap my mind around the fact that we kissed. I don't even know how it happened. It was so bizarre. And I think I would have taken her back at the time. Right now, I don't know if I would. I don't know. I haven't thought about Karen in a while. Uh, but yeah, we'll leave names out of this. Alicia, I did not drag out my divorce. And the reason why is because um, we had a house together and she wasn't paying for it. Um, she had stopped paying for it, and I wanted to get out of the house immediately, and I wanted to get divorced immediately because I didn't want to drag it out because she wanted the divorce, and I wanted to move on and get past her as soon as possible. I had just began therapy and just began finding my faith again through Jesus Christ, and I figured that no matter what I did or said, she'd never come back to me. And then I found out she had a boyfriend like almost immediately. So I didn't want to, interfere with anything at all, ever. And I wanted to focus on myself, focus on my therapy, focus on my religion, focus on my channel, and focus on all that and get out of my marriage as fast and as quick as possible. I even sold the house um, at a lower amount that I should have. I could have got a lot more if I wanted to, but I almost got nothing from it. I just wanted to get rid of it and get rid of her. And I did want to be friends, but she wasn't interested in that. And I understand that. I totally don't blame her for that. I get it. I understand. But no, for me personally, I did not drag out my divorce. I did not. Um, Maybe part of it was that she had a boyfriend and that it was no possibility of us getting back together. That's probably why. I did not drag it out though. But I know that's a common thing. Oh, so Leon is on YouTube? I think I got a feeling I've heard of him. I think he probably subscribed. I got a feeling I mistook him for a fitness influencer probably, but I think I know who that is. I'm pretty sure. And oh, wait a minute. Wait. Okay. Alicia, correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't he off of YouTube for a while? Am I wrong about that? Was he on for a long time and then he just vanished and he was off for a while? Well, Alicia, I probably would have dragged it out, but I was already in therapy and I was already going to church at that point. So I knew it wasn't healthy and I knew it wasn't right and I knew it wasn't what God would want me to do. So at the time, I didn't do that. But, you know, maybe a year before that, I probably would have because I was trying to get her back. Leon Walker Jr. on YouTube. Okay. Well, wasn't he gone for a while though? Was he gone for a while? Oh, I think okay. Now it's coming back. Well, didn't he go through something like a divorce or something? And he was depressed. something like that. I think he got real depressed about something and he was off of YouTube. I'll find his channel. I'll subscribe. I might have subscribed. I don't know why I thought he was a fitness guy. Oh, that's why. Okay. So he's in workout clothes a lot. So he's not a fitness influencer. Okay. Hey, I work out too though. I do. I used to work out a lot. Now I work out almost every day. In fact, today it was what was it, almost 85 degrees or something. And I went for a walk. There's a park right by my house. There's some hills. And yeah, I went for a long walk. It was brutal though. I have to be honest, it was hard. But I forced myself to walk. I forced myself to work out. And when you're recovering from narcissistic abuse and you're trying to heal yourself, in my opinion, I think besides having faith in God and reconnecting with your faith in Jesus and going to church, working out is so beneficial. A simple walk, I'm telling you, a simple walk, even for 20 minutes, I'm telling you, it makes such a big difference. So, because I notice the results when I work out, I try to work out almost every day now because I don't want to backslide and get depressed. And narcissists get depressed quite often. Believe it or not, they go through depression, bouts of depression. So okay, so all right, Alicia, yeah, I'm gonna look up his channel. He sounds like he sounds really interesting. I wonder if he discovered working out can change your life too. So Leon Walker Jr. Okay, go subscribe to him, I guess. Yeah. Okay, cool. He also went to therapy and he was forced to by the Department of oh, he's a veteran. Okay. Oh, yeah. So yeah, Alicia, I think he was gone for a while, like 2 months or something. It wasn't, I don't know, it was something I thought he was saying. Man, my memory is shit. Gosh, oh man. He was saying something about a divorce. I thought maybe that's what it was. Okay. His wife took half of his pension. Oh my God. Well, yeah, that's to be expected. Yeah. They get half, don't they? Is he I'm I'm confused. I'm confused, but is he with somebody else? Oh no, I'm thinking of mental illness. Lee Hammock. That's what I'm thinking of. Okay. Lee Hammock is the one that's married and has his wife on. Oh, he was in the Navy. Okay. Is he your favorite channel? Or am I the favorite channel, Alicia? Who's your favorite? Just tell me it's a tie. It's a tie. I can't believe he has that many subscribers. Damn. That's a lot. 50,000. And he admits he's a narcissist and he's religious. So he sounds like the exact person I need in my life. Wow. That's pretty cool. Not many of those out there. Uh, Self-aware channels are almost all, well, not all gone, but a lot, like the Nameless Narcissist is gone. There was another one called, what was her name? Oh, NPD April is gone. She's gone. And there was another one called Spirit Narc, I think. Spirit Narc. Yeah, Spirit Narc. She's a covert. Well, she said she was a covert narcissist. I haven't seen her, but she's probably. It's a tie. Oh, thank you. Oh my gosh, I love it. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. You made me so happy. You really did. It's a tie. I'll take a tie. I know he's a good man. Thank you so much. Yeah. Um, I gotta start watching his channel though. That's interesting. I don't know why I thought he was a fitness guy, but I think it's because what he wears. I know is he the one, does he do it outside? Like in a shed or something? Oh no, that's no, never mind. That's mental illness. He does it outside, or he used to do it outside, or he'll do it at like ball games when his kid's in a ball game or something. All right, I think I'm gonna end the stream. I've been on. How long have I been on? Hour and 35 minutes. Well, thanks everyone for being here. Oh, Alicia, yeah, my email is. I'm pretty sure it's up there. If you ever want to email me any questions, or you can leave them in the comments. Um, if you ever have anything that you want answered, I'll gladly answer it for you. I appreciate you being here so much. I appreciate everyone being here so much, and God bless everybody. And yeah, if you ever need anything though, Alicia, let me know. I'll answer it as best I can. Um, oh, he's in his car. Okay, okay. Oh, okay. I'm probably confusing him with Lee Hammond or Lee Hammock. Lee Hammock from Mental Illness. Yeah, I like his channel too. He's one of the first ones I seen on this platform. Oh, he's in his car. Okay. Yeah, I'll check out his channel. But yeah, I do want to thank everyone for being here. I appreciate you being here. And just know that if you're ever confused or hurt, just send a prayer. And yeah, if you ever want to email me, go ahead. No problem. I appreciate you being here so much. Um, I'll send up a prayer for everybody here and have God look out for everybody and protect everybody. And in his infinite wisdom, we just have to trust God that he knows what he's doing and he always has. And Jesus Christ is the answer. Jesus Christ is the only answer you need in your life. And I appreciate everybody being here. Um, Everything I have in my life, I owe to God. And I thank everyone for being here. And I hope you all have a great Sunday evening and take care of yourselves. God bless.